For Wednesday's video for today, probably going to be the NFL 100. They literally some of the list at All Sports Culture. This will be another part of the list, but overall, a lot of interesting things happening. I might do a Boogie Nights review. That's one movie I've kind of been wanting to watch, but I might do that. I'm not really sure yet. There's been a lot of positive feedback on some of the reviews on here. Some people don't like them, like the movies, thought that the rating was bad. Some people said a 2 out of 10 for Prey. I don't agree with that, but overall, let's get into today for NFL news, or actually just NFL ranking. It's the NFL Top 100 list. This list comes out every year. It's really an achievement to be in the top 10. My prediction for top 10, I don't really know. I'll have to think about it. I think Trent Williams will probably be in the top 10, top 20. I'll probably say Aaron Donald. He's probably going to be up there. Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady. I think there's going to be a couple quarterbacks in the top 10 specifically, just because how valuable the position is, and I think they're just going to put them in the top 10. There's not that many quarterbacks at the 100 part, really. Usually most of those are reserved for other players. So let's see. Let's break into it. NFL Network and NFL. Kyle Pitts is number 100, Kyle Juszczyk for San Francisco 49ers fullback. San Francisco 49er. He's probably the best fullback in the NFL. I think a lot of people consistently know him as that. 99, Kirk Cousins. Last year, I don't know his rating. It doesn't say on here, but kind of interesting to put him at 99. I don't think he's that bad. I'll put him maybe around like 88, somewhere on there for the Vikings. 98, David Montgomery for the Bears, running back, Chicago Bears. I think he's going to keep improving. Next year, he's probably going to have the higher ranking. 97, Leonard Williams, defensive end, New York Giants. The Giants, I don't think are going to have too many players on here, but this is an impressive achievement for him. Number 96, Jimmy Ward, 49ers, cornerback, San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers have an underrated secondary, and I think they're just going to keep improving defensively as well. 95, CeeDee Lamb, wide receiver, Dallas Cowboys. That's a good rating for him. I think he's somewhere around there. I think he's definitely going to prove a lot of people wrong. Amari Cooper being gone, I think that's going to be the best thing for his career, and he's going to keep improving. 94 for Justin Tucker, kicker. He's probably the only kicker on this list, so I'm very surprised that he's a 94. Like, I would put him somewhere around maybe like the 60s just because how good a kicker he is. And I think he might be the only one on here, because if he isn't, there's no kicker better than him in the league, in my opinion. 93, Von Miller, linebacker, Buffalo Bills. I don't really get that ranking. I get you have to have positions, but kicker, right now, Justin Tucker is still in his prime. I would say Von Miller's I would say he's still kind of in his prime, in the middle of his prime, somewhere around there. But 93 for him, I would put him probably behind Justin Tucker. Number 92, Tyron Smith, offensive tackle, Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys have a lot of injury problems at the offensive line, so that's going to be very concerning. But Tyron Smith definitely deserves to be on this list. 91, Kyle Pitts, Falcons, tight end, Atlanta Falcons. I think he's probably one of the best tight ends. I would say maybe top 15. Some people say he's top 10. I don't really know if I would give him that right just yet. Last year, he did have a very good season. I would say he had like 800 yards or something like that. He only had one touchdown, which kind of surprising. I think next season he's probably going to prove a lot of people wrong, and he could actually jump in the top 10. That's just my opinion, though. 90, Odell Beckham Jr., Rams, wide receiver. I would personally put him like an 80 something. I think 90 is a bit too low for him, to be honest. I think he proved a lot of people wrong in the Super Bowl and proved that Baker Mayfield was a problem when he was healthy. 89, Marshawn Lattimore, Saints, for the cornerback. I think that's pretty good ranking for him. 86, Jonathan Allen, defensive tackle, Washington Commanders. Pretty good ranking. 87, Denzel Ward, cornerback. He's considered one of the best cornerbacks in the NFL. I'd put him around a 75. That's my ranking. 86, Shaquille Barrett for the Buccaneers. Linebacker, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I agree with that ranking. I think he's even have a better year in it. The Buccaneers are definitely a slept-on team. 85, Mac Jones for the Patriots. QB, New England Patriots. Very interesting to have him in the top 100. I don't know if I'd personally put him at 85. I'll probably say like a 96, somewhere around there. 84, Roquan Smith, Bears, linebacker, Chicago Bears. I agree with that ranking. 83, Wyatt Teller for the Browns. I agree with that ranking as well. 82, Kenny Moore II, Colts, cornerback, Indianapolis Colts. I agree with that. And 81, Justin Simmons, Broncos, safety, Denver Broncos. I agree with that. Let's keep going on this list. 80, you have James Conner for the Cardinals. I'd put him around 75, and that's where I'd put him as a ranking. I don't think he's at an 80. I think he's definitely better than that. I think a couple years ago he was probably considered a very good, valuable pick in fantasy, and the last few years he's been Pretty good, but not as good as he used to be. I think 80 is a fine ranking, but personally, I'd put him at 75. 79, Rashawn Slater. He's probably one of the best offensive tackles in the NFL. He's still at that part they got him at. He's definitely going to make Justin Herbert's life easier. He had a monster year last year, and I think he'd definitely be one of the best offensive linemen in the NFL very soon. He really has that potential. 78, Trey Henderson. Bengals defensive end, Cincinnati Bengals. He's probably one of the biggest monsters on the Bengals defensively. I feel like their defense is sometimes lacking and their offensive line, but the Bengals overall have a great team. Number 77, Darius Slay, cornerback, Philadelphia Eagles. I agree, Darius Slay's around to 77. 76, Brian Burns, defensive end, Carolina Panthers. That's a good rating for Brian Burns. 75, Antoine Winfield Jr., Buccaneers, safety, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think he's kind of slept on overall. I think that's a fine rating for him, but I feel like a lot of people underestimate how good he is in the NFL and don't put a lot of respect on his name. Number 74, Demario Davis, linebacker, New Orleans Saints. I'd put him around to 70. That's my ranking for him. 73, Cordell Patterson, Falcons, running back. He's listed as a running back, but he's really at all positions, really. He did wide receiver, big kick returning. He's just an overall monster, and I agree with that ranking. I think he's going to be very valuable for the Falcons next season. And I think they're going to struggle, to be honest. I don't think they're going to have that good of a season. I would be surprised if they got over 8 wins, to be honest. I would say they're going to be around 6 or 5 at the most. 72, Quaytron Diggs for the Seahawks safety. Seattle Seahawks. Not too many Seahawks on this list, but I think that's a good ranking for him. He deserves you on this list. 71, Jason Kelsey, center, Philadelphia Eagles. He's probably one of the best centers in the NFL right now, and that's a good rating for him. 70, Tyrann Mathieu for the Saints. That was a great pickup. That was a bad decision by the Chiefs to really not try to pick him up again, but he deserves to be higher on this list. He's definitely one of the best safeties. I would say he's around a 60. 69, Cameron Jordan, defensive end, New Orleans Saints. He's a monster. I would say should be higher on this list. 68, Zach Martin, center, Dallas Cowboys. He's a monster as well. There's a lot of very good players in the 60s overall. 67, Budda Baker, safety, Cardinals. He's really probably the best defensive player for the Cardinals. 66, DeForest Buckner, Indianapolis Colts defensive tackle. He's probably the best player for the Colts defensively. 65, Derek Carr, QB, Las Vegas Raiders. Interesting position to put him at, because I feel like most people would probably say Kirk Cousins is better than Derek Carr. Kind of interesting way to put him at this point in the list, but that's just my opinion. And what do you think? And then 64, Devin White, linebacker, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's definitely slept on and probably one of the best defensive players for the Buccaneers. 63, Jalen Waddle, wide receiver, Miami Dolphins. I think that's a bit too high of a rating in my opinion. I'll put him somewhere around 70. I think for him, he's just starting out. I think he had a great season last year. I had him in fantasy. He was a monster, of course, but 63 just seems like kind of premature for me. I think he's definitely going to have a lot of touches this season with Tyreek Hill. And Tyreek Hill's probably helping him be the best receiver he can be. 62, Chandler Jones, defensive end, Las Vegas Raiders. I think he's a great player. 61, Russell Wilson, QB, Denver Broncos. He's 61 on this list. I personally put him around somewhere around a 50, but that's my opinion. And then here's the top 100. 51, you have Alvin Kamara. Or actually, I did that on opposite, sorry. 60, Corey Lindsey, center, Los Angeles Chargers. Another Chargers player. 59, Max Crosby, defensive end, Las Vegas Raiders. He definitely deserves to be on this list. Had a very good year last year. Got a lot of tackles and sacks. 58, Darren Waller, tight end, Las Vegas Raiders. Very underrated. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like last season wasn't his best season. I think he's going to really prove a lot of people wrong and have his best season. 57, Kyler Murray, QB, Arizona Cardinals. I don't really know. I don't think he's really proved enough to be this high. I would personally put him around a 60. 56, Xavier Howard, cornerback, Dolphins. He's very good. That's a good option. 55, Joe Benito, guard for the Browns. I agree with that. 54, Jeffrey Simmons, defense tackle for the Tennessee Titans. I agree with that positioning. 53, Mike Evans, wide receiver, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think he's at the point where he could be at like 30. He's definitely that type of player. He's definitely a top 10. Look at his numbers. Consistently puts up 1,000-yard seasons. I think he's at the most consecutively, more than Julio Jones and Antonio Brown. So he's just a monster. I don't really get how he's so slept on in at 53, but he deserves to be higher on this list. Matthew Judon, 52. linebacker, New England Patriots. I think personally, Matthew Judon, I think that's a good place to put him at. And 51, Alvin Kamara, Saints, running back. I don't think he had the best season last year, but he's going to keep improving. A lot of people have been talking about this off-the-field thing with him getting a fight in Vegas. A lot of people saying Vegas is actually cursed because there's surprising things that happened. Marshawn Lynch also got in trouble in Vegas, but this is probably the end of the segment of the NFL Top 100. I'll probably have to return to do another one because I think they're going to keep posting them, but what other ones do you want to see? This is probably be another section of video about some other things as well. Bit in movie news as well. The original script to Black Adam had both Black Adam and Shazam establishing their origin stories in one film. I fought hard for both characters, plus JSA, to have their own and alone films for the fans to enjoy and protect Black Adam's ruthless and extremely violent as we build out the DCU. This is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson talking about Black Adam and Shazam being in the same film. That probably would have been insane to see. I don't think I would have watched it if, like, Black Adam's meant to be dark. He's like an anti-hero. I don't really know if I'd watch it. Black Adam and Shazam, as personality for the first movie, I don't think would have fit as characters. I think I agree with what his thinking was, just because he deserves to be more violent and ruthless and not be hindered down by kind of a kid's movie. I feel like that's what Shazam was. I did like Shazam, but in more of a kid's feel than Black Adam's probably going to have. I don't think a lot of kids are going to be going to watch Black Adam, in my opinion. Here's what Mark Wahlberg said during Complex Sneakers and Sneakers Shopping. I got 23 pairs of Jordans, and MJ got the other 23. This is very interesting to see. And PJ Tucker had the other, which is very interesting overall. He has a lot of shoes, and probably one of the best collections in the NBA right now. I don't think a lot of people have him beat. In general, I'd say. Even private collections, I think it's hard to really beat PJ Tucker. That's just my opinion, though. Sean Witherspoon's new Hot Wheels are horrible. He has Hot Wheels X Adidas collab. These shoes are horrible. I would give this a 1 out of 10. I would not wear these. These look like shoes like you would find at like some local like ASIC. These look like ASICs. These are horrible, bro. Like, these shoes are absolutely horrible. No disrespect to people who are ASICs, but those shits are trash. And these shoes are trash as hell. Anyway, the jacket is honestly not that bad. I would definitely wear the jacket. Like, the jacket, I could definitely wear this. I would say this is a 9 out of 10, but those shoes look horrible and they look ass, so I don't really. Here's some AP pool, another football news. This is probably gonna be the last segment of the video. College football and ESPN. AP pool, preseason, number 1 you have Alabama. I don't agree with that. I think Georgia should be number 1. I think personally, the national championship wasn't a fluke at all. They still have a very good recruiting class. I think their quarterback is kind of, I don't really know if he's really the best, but I would personally put Georgia at number 1. Number 2, I'm putting Alabama. On this list, they have Ohio State at number 2. TJ Stroud's a great quarterback, but personally, I'm putting Bryce Young at number 2. Heisman winner, so he should be number 2. Number 3, Georgia. Like I said, they should be number 1. Number 4, Clemson. I don't really know. DJ didn't have that great of a year last year, neither did Clemson, so I don't know about that one. Number 5, Notre Dame. A lot of people didn't like this, saying that Notre Dame's overrated. It could be because they're a new coach and they think they're going to be a lot better. Number 6, Texas A&M, probably the best recruiting class of this season. A lot of rumors going on with Alabama and Texas A&M fighting, and pretty much him accusing them of buying players. And this is interesting. Jimbo Fisher got accused by Nick Saban of buying players. He also accused Deion Sanders of the same thing as well. Number 7, Utah. Very interesting. I'm kind of surprised I saw them on this list, to be honest. I'm kind of surprised about that. Number 8, Michigan. Aiden Hutchinson was definitely a big loss, but they still had a great overall running game and great players. Number 9, Oklahoma. I don't really know if they should be on this list. That's kind of complicated right there. They did lose their head coach and Caleb Williams, a very big star. And number 10, Baylor. I think that's fine. They have great defense. But USC, I think, should be on at number 10. They got Caleb Williams, and they got the coach of Oklahoma as well. I think that's a great thing for them. And that's probably be the end of the video. But comment down below your opinion, and what do you think?